Welcome back, guys. In the last time we were, last video I posted was the Mysterious Benedict Society in the Perilous Journey, and we were on chapter 1, part 2, and this is part 3, and we left off on page 11. So let's get going. Brainy, meet Madge. Madge? Short for Majesty, actually. Her full name is Her Majesty the Queen, because, she's the Queen of Birds. I see, said Rainy. Naturally, Queen of the Birds. Don't give me that look. It's an excellent name, whether you like it or not. Isn't it an excellent name, Madge? Kate gave the falcon a strip of meat from a sealed pouch inside her bucket. She urged Rainy to stroke the bird's feathers. Rainy nervously obliged, and then sent her off again. Milliken gave me her for my birthday. It only took a dozen hints in a month of begging, and I've been training her. She's very smart. Kate lowered her voice, as if Madge, already 100 yards away, might overhear. Which, between you and me, is kind of rare for a bird of prey. Of course, I never tell her that. Rainy was watching the falcon sail away over the farm. It was just like Kate Weatherall to show you something so dramatic and then act as if you shouldn't be surprised. I thought you needed a license to own a falcon, he said, and go through years of special training. Oh, you do, said Kate, slipping the leather glove back into her bucket. I did all that when I was in the circus. One of the animals trainer was a falconer, and he let me be his apprentice. I learned all sorts of things from that guy. But we can talk about that later, she said, dismissing the subject with an impatient wave of her hand. You're going to tell me about Sticky? Have you heard from him lately? Ray produced a folded sheaf of papers from his pocket. Actually, he sent me this a few days ago. It's an account of our mission. For posterity, he says, he's assuming the mission's ever declassified. He said I could show it to you. He wants our opinion. You mean he wrote everything that happened, like a story? Well, something like that. Rainey unfolded the papers and handed them to Kate, who immediately sat down in the hay to read. There were 5 pages, covered front and back with tiny cramped print, and the title alone was almost as long as one of Kate's letters. It read, The Mysterious Benedict Society's defeat of the terrible brain-sweeping machine called the Whisperer, along with its inventor, Lithothria Curtin, who is revealed to be the long-lost identical twin of Mr. Nicholas Benedict, for whom the society is named, a personal account. Holy smokes, Kate said. The title? Kate nodded and continued to read. In the event that you, the reader, are unaware of Mr. Curtin's failed plan to become a powerful world ruler, using the mind-altering effects of the Whisperer, this account will inform you of it. The account commences with the forming of the Mysterious Benedict Society. Through a series of tests, it was determined that George Sticky Washington, the author of this account, Reynard Muldoon, whose full name is now Reynard Muldoon Permule, as he has been adopted, Kate Weatherall, and Constance Contrier, were sufficiently skilled to enter Mr. Curtin's Learning Institute for the Very Land, the acronym being LIVE, and act as secret agents for Mr. Benedict. At the aforementioned institute, these children discovered many disturbing things. Then they disabled the Whisperer, although Mr. Curtin and his closest assistant, his executives as they were called, unfortunately avoided capture. But I see I've already come to the end. Allow me to back up and make a proper introduction to the course of events. The account went on like this, backtracking and sidetracking and circling around as Sticky labored to produce an accurate summary of their adventures. An entire paragraph, for instance, was devoted to the origin of the word terrified, another to the curious sense of isolation that can occur on islands, as opposed to peninsulas, and still another to consideration of cruel punishments in schools. By the time Kate reached the second page, her shoulders were sagging. With a sigh, she flipped to the last page and read the final sentence. And that is the end of the account. She looked at Rainey. Is it, all like this? I'm afraid so. But how can he make the most exciting, the most dangerous, the most important event in his life, in anyone's life, so, so dull? Rainey offered. Kate flopped back on the hay and started giggling. Oh, I can't wait to see him. Don't give him too hard a time. He may be coming out of his shell, but he's still sensitive, you know. I'll be sure to hug him before I tease him, Kate said. Rainey cringed. Kate's hug would probably hurt Sticky much worse than her teasing. Well, enough lying around, said Kate, who had been lying around for perhaps 3 seconds. She sprang to her feet. Aren't you going to say anything about my bucket? I was about to, Rainey said. I see you've made some modifications. Kate hurried over to show him. The bucket's clever new lid opened easily, but closed securely, which kept her things from spilling out as they sometimes did in the past. What was more, inside the bucket, Kate had attached several pouches that closed with snaps, straps, and zippers, so that everything could be snugged into a designated place. Her rope lay coiled in the bottom as always, tucked neatly beneath the pouches. Impressive, Rainey said, examining the hidden catch that made the lid spring open. Kate beamed. Milligan designed the lid. He pointed out that a utility belt would be less cumbersome than a bucket, but I reminded him that you can't stand on a utility belt to reach things, or fill it with water and drop it on our pursuers. Remembering how Kate had done just that to escape Jackson and Jillson, Mr. Curtin's most thuggish executive, who had managed the children at the Institute. Exactly, and Milligan's on my point, so he offered to help me improve the bucket instead of replacing it. Look, she said, stepping up onto its closed lid. No more emptying it and flipping it over. That saves time, you know. It was hard to imagine Kate doing anything more quickly than she already did. But Rainey acknowledged the improvement. And what are you keeping in it these days? I mean, other than Falcon snacks and whistles. Pouch by pouch, Kate showed Rainey the bucket's contents. Luckily, she said, Milligan had recovered some of the things she'd been compelled to leave behind at the Institute. Her spyglass, which she disguised as a kaleidoscope, her Swiss Army knife, her horseshoe magnet, and her flashlight. She had also replaced some of the items that had been lost or ruined, such as her slingshot and marbles, her spool full of clear fishing twine, her extra-strength glue, and her pen light. In addition, she recently added a pencil-sized paintbrush and a bottle of lemon juice. I had to just wait to tell you in person, Kate said with a mischievous look. You know the lemon juice trick, don't you? From now on, I'll brush secret notes onto my letters, and those government snoops won't be able to see them. All I have to do is hold the paper over a candle, and the words will appear. Rainey chuckled. He was familiar with the lemon juice trick, but he had never had an opportunity to use it. And what's in the last pouch? He asked, pointing to the one that remained unopened. Oh, just these, Kate said somewhat drearily, producing at least 2 dozen keys of all different sizes and varieties. Keys for the house, keys for the truck, keys for the barn, padlock, henhouse padlock, all the gates and cupboards and sheds, you name it. Milligan believes in keeping things secure. She sighed and stuffed the keys back into their pouch. What's the matter? Rainey asked. Nothing, really. Kate said. Nothing important, at least. And that's the trouble. I love the farm, you know, and I'm glad to be here, but it's just that sometimes it feels a little dull. And after all the exciting things we went through, the important things we accomplished, well, everything that since then seemed a bit ordinary. We were secret agents, Rainey. Even as she spoke the words, Kate's eyes lit up in a very familiar way. Then she laughed at herself. It's kind of hard to get excited about having the key to the root cellar. That's all I mean. Well, you're not alone, Rainey said. Since Miss Pramil adopted me, things have been great, but I still feel restless all the time. Like I should be doing something urgent and can't say what. Really? Kate said. For a moment, the two friends regarded each other in silence. It was a look that communicated everything they shared, the dangers, hardships, and triumphs of the mission, of course, but also the knowledge, as isolating when they were alone, as stirring as it was when they were together, that they understood things about the world that no one else did. Things they might never speak of except to each other. I suppose it's just a normal letdown, Kate said at last. She walked over to the corner of the hayloft. Anyway, it's not that bad, and I do what I do to keep things interesting. And with that, she leaped in the air and pulled a cord hanging from the rafter above. Trapdoor fell open beneath her, and with a playful wave, Kate fell through the hole and disappeared. Rainey heard her land with a thud on the earthen floor below. Come on. Bye, guys. Look out